founder and CEO of ShareLove.Fund, and today we begin our RPYT, Registered Prenatal Yoga Teacher Training. Week number, I'm going to check my cheat sheet, week number 45, oh my goodness. Reclined Goddess Pose is our pose of the week, and we get to all feel like goddesses this week with this pose. So let me first introduce it to you, and then I have a goddess-like meditation, a visual guided imagery for you. So you can get into this reclined goddess pose and enjoy the meditation. So reclined goddess, basic is feet together like cobbler's pose. Slowly roll your back down. You can have your hands to your side, on your hips, one hand on your heart, one on your belly, just to the side of your body. You can use your hands to mirror your feet and come on top, however's comfortable. If you are in your third trimester and uncomfortable being on your back, we've done this setup a few times in other classes, but just so we have a little refresher, since it's our pose of the week, you can use blocks and a bolster to set up a version of reclined goddess so that you are not laying on your back. It can be like this. You can use additional blocks under your knees so that you don't feel like your legs are hanging if the hip stretch is too intense. If this is still too far back, you can double up on your blocks. Just sort of play building blocks. You don't need blocks if you don't have them. You can sit up against a chair if you have a bean bag. The idea is just cobbler's pose with a bit of relaxation. So I invite you to get into your own version of goddess pose and to feel comfortable as we start this meditation. If you don't want to be in goddess pose, then you can make that decision. We are, in fact, becoming goddesses today, so you are empowered to pick the pose that feels right for you. Take a moment to get a water if you need. Use the restroom. Perhaps you want to grab a blanket if the temperature is not right for you. I'm just going to give everyone a minute to sort of settle in, because I know folks like to start this together live. We're live on YouTube. So get what you need, and we will start in a minute. If you already have everything you need for our guided visualization, you can start by focusing on your breath, breathing in and out. Imagining that there's no start or end to your breath, that it's just a continuous stream of energy purifying you. You can imagine your breath as bringing in vitality through oxygen and exhaling any impurities or debris that's weighing you down. And as you inhale and exhale, you can think about lengthening your exhales as if you're the goddess of the wind, making a long, swirly breeze as you exhale. And when you inhale, you're inhaling the mountains and the trees and all of nature's strength. And as you're exhaling, you're blowing away all dirt and debris and filth and things that do not serve you. And you can continue inhaling and exhaling, trying to create a fluidity with each breath. No start, no end, just a continuous circle of breath. So, as discussed, or for those of you who have joined later, our pose of the week is Goddess Pose, which is like Cobbler's Pose. We have our feet together and slowly reclining back. And for folks that are later in their pregnancy who are not comfortable on their back, because as you all know, by week 45, we have to be careful not to put third trimester pregnant women on their back too long. If you're not comfortable being on your back too much, you can use blocks, bolsters to do sort of a supported reclined goddess pose to support your back. And as goddesses, you are empowered to do a different pose if you want during the meditation. This meditation is for you, no one else. So take from it what you need, adjust your body, how it serves you. This is your class. This is not my class or somebody else's class. This is your class designed to empower you. So adjust it so that it does its job. This meditation is about connecting with your circle of support, which is so important during pregnancy. So many changes, and a lot of us don't like to ask for help. So this meditation addresses that, opens the door to seeing the support network around you and building your own circle of support. This meditation helps those facing a dilemma, needing to make a decision, seeking guidance and support. In this journey, we're guided to connect with the wisdom and energy of a circle of support. I invite you now on a journey to connect with your circle of support. So allow yourself to settle into a comfortable position, relaxing in ways that you know best. Closing your eyes, bringing your attention inward, and knowing that in this moment, you can take just time for you, for your own relaxation and healing. Take in a deep breath and exhale, releasing all that no longer serves you in this moment. Take in another breath and again breathe out, feeling your mind, body, and spirit coming into a state of relaxation. Go deeper and deeper. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Beginning to imagine how looking off and seeing in your mind's eye an entryway, a threshold that makes a lovely staircase with 3 steps. and you feel your feet being drawn to the stairway. Beginning now to take one step at a time. One step and two steps. Stepping now on the third step of the stair. Ahead of you is a beautiful door, and the door has on it a beautiful doorknob. And you reach out to turn this doorknob. As you open the door, you step into a room that is filled with golden light. The energy in this room is healing and safe, and you may feel a curious anticipation, for you know this place is here just for you. In this room is a large table surrounded with comfortable chairs. And here in this lovely room with the golden light are gathered your circle of support, a group of beings that you trust above all, who have your best interests in mind. They may be loved ones alive or past, perhaps mentors, or even images of icons that have inspired you. Maybe Martin Luther King or Nelson Mandela. Sources of support, trust, and inspiration. Maybe friends or colleagues, all coming together now just for you. These beings are specifically here to deepen your faith that you are supported. They support you. They welcome you. They draw you in with an open, unconditional heart. And as they settle down in the chairs and around the table, you are becoming even more aware of the presence of each one of them as you gaze into their eyes. Take a moment now and imagine going around in a circle, connecting with each of these ones here just for you. Now take another moment to be aware of the silence. The silence around all of you being together. you are formulating in your own mind a question that you would like to ask them. Or you are formulating in your mind an awareness of a gift that you would like to receive from them. Or perhaps you would like to ask them if they would like to speak to you. Perhaps to give you insight or guidance for what your life needs right now. How they share this information can come in many forms, through words or presentation, or maybe they are singing to you, or giving you a symbol or a gift, or perhaps even a mantra or saying or phrase. Now take the next couple of minutes to just allow each one around this table to connect with you and to offer you their wisdom and support. then perhaps ask, is there anything else that you would like your circle of support to reveal to you? Notice as you feel their energy. Feel their support in your body. Just where in your body you feel the support as you open and receive. The support is becoming part of your cells, of your body. energizing and bringing light to your awareness. Continue to receive this beautiful and loving light all throughout your body. Goddess Pose is a way to open and receive, filling yourself with light and love and energy in this most receptive position. And then when you are ready to say goodbye to each being, just for now, knowing that you can return to this place whenever you need them, say goodbye, recognizing that you are always carrying their supportive energy, and all you have to do is to reconnect, to receive this loving support and guidance. So take all the time that you need, and when you're ready to come back, step out of the room and open the door, stepping back through the threshold. Breathe in deeply. All the love and support and gifts that are now a part of you. Slowly coming back to awareness of your body, aware of this present moment, awake and refreshed, and at peace as you now embody your circle of support. We'll take a few moments to come back to awareness. Please take your time. We'll start our movement practice when you feel ready. If you were in Reclined Goddess Pose, then when you feel ready, you can place a hand on each thigh and then roll as a unit over. The reason why we do it with each hand on each thigh while pregnant, this is the prenatal teacher training, is so we don't accidentally twist our torso, which can not be good for the baby. So Don't twist your torso, bring it together as one unit. When you feel comfortable, then you can stay here for a minute so you're not lightheaded. Maybe take 3 breaths here. When you feel comfortable, you can gently, slowly push up so that you're not dizzy, and then you can come to Sukhasana, or easy seat, where we will begin our flow. So I hope everybody feels like a goddess with that meditation, and we're just going to take it nice and easy in week 45 of our prenatal teacher training, and you guys should congratulate yourself for making it this far. So let's just take it easy in easy seat. Let's take a few centering breaths, and if you felt good and inspired and fulfilled from that visual guided imagery, then use these breaths to sort of imprint those good feelings on your mind so you can find them again. If you did not like that guided imagery, then let that be a helpful input as you become teachers of your own with your own RPYT degree, which is why we're here to get this degree. So everything is useful knowledge. The things that didn't serve you, you know what you don't want to do as a teacher, and the things that did serve you, you can copy. The great thing about live on YouTube is that you can have the transcript. It automatically appears the transcript of everything we do, and it is possible to highlight the transcript and literally copy and paste it. So you have a lot of teaching tools at your disposal. And that's what we're really trying to do here at ShareLove.Fund, is empower everybody in a cost-effective way to have a vocational degree so that they can earn a livelihood that respects their mind, body, and soul. The SHARE method, as you know, was developed for incarcerated women. That's why we have no tests or quizzes, and that's why our program is based on 52 weeks. Of course, these 52 weeks are optional. You can speed through it on demand in Teachable and do work on at your own pace, but we offer these 52 guided sessions because for our incarcerated women, it's a lovely way to space out their year. We offer 6 degrees, so that's sort of 6 years of something to look forward to, which may seem daunting for us civilians, but when you're serving a life sentence, it's really nice to have something new to look forward to and earn for the next 6 years. So in every few months, we try to roll out a new degree. Thank you to our donors who have invested in that, especially our Lifetime Lotus leaders. Our Lifetime Lotus leaders are donors at the substantial gifting level who allow us to make infrastructure investments such as build new degree programs. Anyway, without further ado, that was my spiel. Without further ado, this part is for you. Okay, let's take a few deep breaths and we'll hone in on feeling like a goddess today. Inhale light and love, and exhale all that doesn't serve you. If you feel like you have kind of a lot of icky stuff going on in your life right now, then I encourage you to exhale through your mouth, because sometimes that feels like really cleansing. So we'll inhale through our nose and exhale through our mouth. For prenatal, we never want to add stress on the body, so it shouldn't be a vigorous breath. Keep it smooth, and to the extent that feels good to you, we'll continue in the nose and out the mouth. If your nose is stuffed, of course, modify. Definitely breathe comfortably, and we never want to restrict breath, but we certainly don't want to for a prenatal client. So definitely breathe the way your body is telling you to, even if it's different from what I say. Inhaling light and love. and exhaling all that doesn't serve you. Inhaling light and love, and exhaling all that doesn't serve you. With a big inhale, we'll reach the arms up, clasp the hands together, stretching to one side, stretching to the other. Exhale and inhale, rainbowing the arms around, remembering that whatever your situation is, you can always paint a rainbow and feel like a goddess under your own rainbow that you painted. Sometimes we need to paint our own rainbows, and we certainly almost always need to give our own self a shout out. No one is going to do that for us. Women are less likely to ask for raises, less likely to get credit because they don't ask for it. So, as my dad taught me, you don't get in life what you deserve, you get what you negotiate for. So sometimes we have to negotiate. Stretch, 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 and release. Stretch, 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 and release. We'll take a big inhale, and as we exhale, we'll come forward. If you feel very pregnant, maybe you want to have a block or something like that so you don't come as far. Maybe you want to use your bolster. Maybe you want to just use your hands or elbows. You can also do this wide-legged to create more space for the belly. You can also sit on a block or a bolster to boost yourself up to, again, create more space for the belly. But for those of you that it's working for them, let's inhale the arms up, and we'll come forward. Here, we'll walk our hands to one side, and we don't want to twist while we're pregnant, but as long as we're keeping the whole torso unit together, we can stretch the backside a little bit. Keeping the sits bones down, we'll just reach to one side. Stretching the whole underarm area. You'll feel it in your tightest point, wherever that may be. Walking the hands to the center. You definitely don't want to put pressure on the belly, so if you're pregnant, make sure you're propped up. And we'll walk our hands to the other side, stretching out the back body here. Coming up, we'll walk our hands slowly up, and we'll rainbow the arms again to the side, seeing if we feel any different. Reach, 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 and release. Reach, 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 and release. Reach, 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 and release. So as you may recall, in pregnancy, you can do cat-cow, forward and back, and you can go side to side as we're doing, but you can't twist. So you don't want to wring out your middle as if it is a wet rag. Don't want to do that. You can twist. Wherever we are gaining space, we're also contracting in another area and losing space. So that is something to be aware of. If it does not feel good on you, then don't do it. You know, our body gives us clues and tells us things, but it's our job to listen to it. So it's not reasonable on YouTube to think that I know about your specific medical condition, and nothing herein shall be construed as medical advice. So please be safe, especially our pregnant students. And for our teacher trainees, whether pregnant or not pregnant, definitely the takeaway I want you to get from this course is err on the side of caution, and safety is the most important. And It's not about how a student is doing compared to other students in the class. It's about how they are reaching their own personal goals. Yoga is sort of a test within our own selves. And I find that injuries happen when people get a little competitive in the class. So, my takeaway is, as teachers, try to empower your students to just focus on themselves and their own growth. Reach, 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 and bring it all back. We'll stretch out our arm a little bit on each side. And I'll do a little backstroke, opening up the shoulders. This can also be a heart opener. And in line with being a goddess, our theme of the day, heart openers really allow for that as we are open to receive, unafraid, unapologetic, and we can bring it forward like we're swimming. This also can stretch the back. There's a lot you can't move while you're pregnant, but you certainly can move your arms, so we'll get that going. This also helps with circulation, which can be great as prenatal is a tough time with circulation. Let's stretch out our arm in this manner. We can bring our hand around and pull it down and get a deeper stretch if that feels comfortable. Take a few deep breaths here. Stretching takes time, can be a little boring, so we just have to be patient with it. You can shake that out when you're ready and bring your arms up, and we'll stretch out the other side. Bring the hand around. Notice the difference on the two sides. Are they different? If so, kind of what's going on in your life to make them different? Do you hold a purse on one side or a man bag? Or equal opportunity here. Where it feels tight, use your breath to imagine your breath as a balloon, making space, expanding the tight area, invigorating it to release. Stretching takes a while for the release, so it can be a little boring. But we'll release here. You can come back to that one if you want. Some of these stretches you can do while you're watching TV or putting someone on speaker and listening. We'll stretch out one leg. Feel a little back stretch or a hamstring stretch. We'll bring in the other leg and stretch it out. Now let's review what we've done this sequence. So we are in our Series E, our final series of the Share Method. The third pose of the series is Goddess Pose, which we did today. So that we're in week 45, the third week of the series. So our first pose of the series was wide-legged seated forward fold. So it's how it sounds. We're seated, we're wide-legged, and we're folding forward. So let's just do that a little bit. So if your belly is touching the ground, you will want to prop yourself up. And this is one of those stretches where, again, it just takes time to open up and, you know, just go for it. So you can kind of decide if you want to stretch more your inner thighs or if you want to stretch more your back, and you can walk your hands out, and we're just going to hang out and try to get a little release. You can use this stretch as almost a meditation, concentrating on your breath. And with each breath, seeing if you can get a little deeper into it. If it helps, you can hold on to your legs, or hold on walking your hands forward, or holding onto your feet, or thighs, or shins, whatever feels good. You can experiment with keeping your back straight and sort of like hinging forward, and then when you feel like you've sort of maxed that out, then you can curve the spine and fall into it. If you feel that that is not comfortable, you can use a block and sort of use a block as support, and maybe you're really just focusing on the hinge part and you want to use a block. You can play around with how it feels when your feet are flexed or pointed. This is also a nice time to throw in some ankle rolls. Pregnancy is a time of swollen feet and swollen legs and a lot of blood in the body, so you can do a little self-massage, get that going, kind of pulling on the toes. That can help. Now we'll just hang out here. If your legs start to fall asleep, which is also really common in pregnancy, feel free to move around. But for those of you who are not bothered by this stretch, the way to open up is to hang out here. And this stretch really helps with our pose of the week, goddess pose, because as we get comfortable with our hips being open and wide and stretched and loose in wide-legged seated forward fold, as we get used to that, that also helps us open up our hips as we go into goddess pose, which is super comfortable. Okay, but this is less comfortable, but we have to do the work before we can get the perk. So anyway, so we'll hang out here. Definitely feel free to modify if it's not working for you. And let's just open up and be goddesses. As you start to loosen up, you can widen your legs a little bit. Let your neck fall. You can shake your head yes, shake your head no. Just releasing any tension from your neck. Notice your eyelids. Are you squinting them or are they relaxed? Notice your shoulders. Can you let them drop a little bit? Your jaw. Are you holding tension in your jaw? Can that relax? When you feel ready, slowly walk your hands back out. You can shake out your legs a little bit, and we'll come into Cobbler Pose. So Cobbler Pose was our second pose of this series E. We did it in week 54 last week. So Cobbler Pose, it's sort of like easy seat, except your feet are clasped together. For our children's class, our RPYT, Registered Children's Teacher Training, which I hope you'll join after this, we talk about reading our feet as a book and trying to open them up and saying, oh, what does my story say? Or what does my book say? And that is a fun, creative exercise for them. And for our prenatal, I also encourage playing with your feet, but for purposes of a little self-massage. So you can kind of pull your feet apart and open them up, which also opens up your hips, puts you in a position to receive in theme with our Be a Goddess today. But also peeling out your feet is a way to do a little self-massage. So I encourage you to do some pressure points. You don't need to be a masseuse or know what you're doing. You're not going to hurt yourself because you won't press that hard, because that's common sense or instinct. I don't know which one, but it's pretty safe. doing it yourself. So you can kind of play around with that. Increase the circulation of your feet. We'll take a moment to do that. And while you're doing that, you can also peel your feet out, opening up your hips. You can also kind of roll your hips out a little bit. We'll do an around the world. 1, 2, 3, and on the other side. Now this is not twisting the torso because our torso is staying in one solid unit, so that is prenatal safe. We couldn't like wring it out, like I wouldn't face the back of the room. That would not be prenatal safe. But doing this and this is, you can also do some spinal exercises here, sort of like cat-cow, leaning forward and leaning back. So let's continue with that. Self-massage and peeling out the feet for a minute in Cobbler's Pose, reviewing our pose of last week. So we have wide-legged straddle leading to Cobbler Pose as the first 2 poses of our Series E sequence. The entire sequence will be Sun Salutation A plus our 9 poses of Series E as usual. You will have a 22 pose sequence by week 52. That will be your 5th 22 pose sequence. We had every week ending in a 2 is a review week or a sequence week, as you know. Week 2, we learned Sun Salutation A. Week 12, we learned Sun Salutation A with our additional poses and our warm-up. Week 22, we learned our Sun Salutation A with our Series B. Week 32, our Sun Salutation A with Series C. Week 42, our Sun Salutation A with Series D. And coming up, your last class will be week 52 with Sun Salutation Series E. With all those series, you will have mastered the Share Method Key 45 signature poses. These are not the end-all be-all of yoga. This is not a yoga method. It's a method to train anybody, regardless of skill or ability, to be a confident yoga teacher. So to be a confident yoga teacher, we limited the universe of yoga to 45 key poses, and we have found that we were able to turn incarcerated women into confident yoga teachers who mastered these 45 poses. They were able to lead a variety of sequences. By the time you graduate, you have 8 sequences at your disposal. The 5 we do inserting our 45 key signature poses, plus 2 versions of the Sun Salutation, 2 versions of the warm-up, and then plus the standard Sun Salutation. That makes 8, and that is more than a sequence for every day of the week. So people, when they graduate, they have that in their back pocket, and they are able to effectively lead a yoga class with confidence because we take a small amount of information and we repeat it again and again and again over an entire year, and that makes people experts in that limited scope, and that's really all you need to be a great yoga teacher. So for our graduates, they may take our method and use it in their teaching, or they may can it and take their degree and do something else, and that's great too. You are empowered to do what you want. We teach to the lowest common denominator so that anyone and everyone can have an affordable, possible, comprehensible yoga degree. So without further ado, I'm not going to go into Reclined Goddess right now because I think we might just fall asleep and we have some work to do. So let's start getting to work. So we'll do cat-cow. Here, really warming up the spine. Some people flex their feet as they go into cat to get a deeper stretch, and then curl for cow. Please do this at your own pace, using your breath to just get into it. You can kind of roll around a little bit, trying to get into those nooks and crannies. Maybe warm up your wrists a little bit, coming forward and back. Remembering to look up, stretching the neck. You can lean back into downward puppy. Back up into table and cow. Really trying to push one hip out and then the other stretching the body a little bit. When you feel comfortable, you can push up to down dog. Pedal your feet a little bit. You can bend your knees to make sure your tailbone is to the sky, and then when you feel comfortable, straighten them out. This is our first down dog of the day, so we're not really warmed up. So take a moment to concentrate on alignment. You want to be a triangle in the sky. If bending your knees helps, do that. We'll lift one leg up, bend it, circle around the other way, straighten it, pedal out the feet a little bit, lift the other leg up, bend it, circle it the other way, straighten it, and now see how the down dog feels. Maybe you're in it a little deeper. If it feels good, you can jump up. If not, don't sweat it. Safety is key. And here we'll do our forward fold. If it's been too much time for you upside down, then come out of it to the extent it's working for you. Let's take our feet under our hands. When you have your feet under your hands, that can be a little bit of a self-massage as well. And we'll just hang out here so that we get the full scope of the back stretch. Again, if this feels like too much time, depending on where you are for your pregnancy, then you know from what we did earlier that you can do this seated, or you can modify with a squat, for example, or something else that suits you. So for those of you that it works for them, let's get our hands under our feet so that's a little bit of a foot massage. For a deeper stretch, let's pedal out the feet and really work one side.
Coming in, pedaling out on the other side. Again, if you feel lightheaded, safety is key. So please adjust as needed. For those of you where it feels okay, we are just in a forward fold with our hands under our feet for a little self-massage for the foot, increasing circulation for prenatal, and then pedaling out a foot so that we can get a deeper hamstring stretch. By having our hands under our foot, this also stretches the arm and back body, and you may feel a back stretch. You will feel the stretch in the point where you are tightest. So some people might even feel it in their wrist, or hamstring, or back, or shoulder. Shake your head no, shake your head yes to make sure your neck is relaxed. Wiggle your jaw to make sure you're not holding any tension in your jaw. Even squeeze your eyelids shut and then kind of relax them to make sure you're not inadvertently holding tension in your eyelids. We have pockets of tension all over without even realizing it. When you become a master of yourself and aware and letting go of all that tension, you will find you have so much more energy throughout the day. It's not really that yoga gives you energy, it's that stopping using energy to tighten up things that don't need to be tight provides more energy capacity for the rest of you. It's sort of like, the way I like to think of yoga is sort of like closing all the open windows on your computer screen. Like when you have so many windows open, of course you're going to crash. I don't think yoga is like a magic thing that gives you more energy. I just think yoga gives you the space to take the time to close all those inactive open windows that are slowing your operating system down. Anyway, don't really know what I'm talking about, but I'm trying to act techie, so I will get off of that conversation. Stick to yoga, which I know. Slowly come up a little bit, bending your knees slightly and half bend, and then roll up very slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae. Be careful to not be lightheaded. If you feel lightheaded, then take a seat or do something so you don't fall over. We don't want any injuries. When you're in here, inhale, arms up, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold again. Don't worry, we won't stay here long. Inhale, the left leg back. And let's just take a moment in lunge. Lower the knee down. And let's lower the elbows in lizard. Really kind of stretching the inner thigh area. If this does not feel comfortable, pregnant, you can be a little higher. If that still does not feel comfortable, depending on how far along you are, you can use blocks and be even higher. If you recall from our class, week 42 with Peter Icabello, he called this baby bear level, mama bear level, papa bear level. So you can be as high as papa bear or mama bear or baby bear, if that feels good. In yoga, it's not about being more advanced by not using blocks. It's about getting the stretch that you need the day that you need it. So sometimes being more upright can get like a deeper stretch here. Sometimes being lower stretches more this leg. So different positions stretch different parts of your body. So get out of it what you need. This is not, the blocks are a way to set up your alignment to get what you need. It's not that one way is more advanced than the other. It's just about setting goals and setting an intention and being deliberate in your actions so that you stay focused and achieve your goals. Coming out of lizard, we'll come to our knees, push back up into plank. From plank, roll the toes under, up dog, down to cobra, rolling the feet back. From cobra, if you're not too far along, you can come to Sphinx. If you are on your belly, then don't come to Sphinx. Stay in cobra, or you can put a bolster under you. From cobra, let's push back up to downward dog. And again, we'll pedal out the feet. Holding it a little bit to just maximize the stretch. Now pedaling out on the other side to maximize the stretch on that side. Here we're getting a deep hamstring stretch while strengthening our arm muscles, which is good because in a few weeks we'll visit crow and we want to have strong arms. Inhaling our left knee in, stepping it forward, dropping our right knee down, and we'll experience lizard on this side. Stretching out our hips a bit. Again, we can do that Papa Bear blocks if this feels better to you, being more upright depending on where you are in your pregnancy. The Mama Bear level blocks or the Baby Bear level blocks, or you're welcome to do no blocks at all. Noticing the difference on both sides, where you feel tight. When you're ready, you can come up, put our blocks down. You can come back up through table, through plank, back to down dog, stretching the leg up, stretching our other leg up, bringing our left knee into chest, stepping it forward, stepping our right leg to match. And this time in forward fold, holding opposite elbows. And letting it drop a little bit. Without twisting, we can grab a hold of one side, maybe bend the knee a little bit to get a deeper stretch. on the other side. Inhale, half bend. Inhale, slowly, slowly, slowly. Arms up to upward salute. Exhale, Tadasana. In Tadasana, one of our favorite poses, we're actually being active, even though it looks like we're just standing. I'm going to plug in my phone. I apologize, we had a low power mode issue, so it is live on YouTube, blips and bloopers and all. So Tadasana, one of our favorite poses. We spend a lot of time talking about it. Looks casual, but it's not. This is a great time to really work the glutes, pull them in, pull the thighs out, grab onto the mat with your toes as if they are monkey hands, and fingers really pulling onto the mat, gripping it. That will be the trick for balancing poses when your foot is really holding onto the mat. So now let's do a little sun salutation version on the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half bend. Exhale, we'll step the right foot back to plank, the left foot back to plank now. Here, from plank, we'll exhale to down dog. Inhale the right knee in, step it through, and we'll do warrior one. Strong warrior one. Exhale to warrior two. I apologize, my back is to you. And we'll do those rainbow arms again. Really feeling the stretch. Coming back to lunge. Exhale, down dog. Bring the left knee in. We'll do it on the other side. And we'll come up to warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Stretching those rainbow arms that we did in our seated position. Coming up, stretching on the other side. Coming back up, down to lunge. Back to plank, long and strong. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right knee in. Bring it forward. Left leg comes to match. Exhale, forward fold. Hold on to opposite elbows. Shake it out a little bit. You did great. Inhale, half bend. Slowly come up. Arms up. Exhale, Tadasana. Come to the center of the mat and we will come into chair pose. You can have your legs a little wider apart if that's more helpful to balance. From chair, you can shimmy it out into squat. And from squat, we'll come back to Tadasana. Do a little floor work to feel like goddesses. So we had our goddess pose. From goddess pose, you can bring one knee in and circle it around, and the other knee and circle it around. From here, you can do a half happy baby. Stretching the leg up and slowly bringing it down. You can bring it back to meet. Have the 2 feet meet in goddess pose. Bring the other knee in, give it a little hug. Self-love. Shimmy this knee around one way and the other way. You can do half baby on this side. Half happy baby, excuse me. Bring it up and then we're working our abs a little bit slowly, bringing it down. Here we'll bring both knees into chest again, wide-legged to save space for the belly. Of course, if this is too much on your back, please modify. And to the extent it feels good to you, let's do happy baby on both sides. Keeping your spine as long as possible connected to the mat. Bringing your chin into chest. And then kind of like rolling your head back, trying to increase the connectedness of your neck. Like imagine if your whole spine and neck were touching the mat. And you can rock side to side to massage out the spine. Reward yourself for your practice today, your goddess practice today. And you can just take a moment to see if this opens up a bit. You know, our hips can be very stubborn, or maybe your hips are really loose and good for you. Women hold a lot of emotion in our hips, and my instructors have told me that when people really finally open up in pigeon and some of these hip openers, that sometimes they just weep because there's just so much emotion there. They said that sometimes they'll go to a class and someone will just have a total release and just start weeping and not even know why. So that may definitely happen, especially for our pregnant folks. I know when I was pregnant, I would cry for no reason all the time. So it's a tumultuous time. When you feel good in this pose, you can bring your legs up. This is a really nice inversion. You can also rest your legs against a wall if this doesn't feel good to you. It can be a great inversion, hamstring stretch. You can work your abs a little bit, coming up. And when you're done, you can cross your legs like you're having a tea party. It's so lovely. Grab your ankles, making space for the belly, of course. But to the extent you're not squishing the belly, you can bring your legs out to the side, and you're really stretching this glute here as you do it. So this is a way to get the benefits of pigeon and a hip opener while being in a restorative pose on your back, relaxing. This is also one of my favorite poses for when the alarm clock goes off and I want to hit the snooze. It's jarring enough that it wakes me up a little bit, but I can still be in bed while being productive for a few more minutes. So this is a good pose to have in your back pocket. You can also rock out your spine, do a little self-massage on your spine, and then also thinking about taking out the curve in your back and just really stretching. So we'll spend a minute here to get a deeper stretch. Really stretching this glute here. And if one pose feels uncomfortable to you, then you can really get at the tightness with a different pose. So sometimes we can trick our bodies. Sometimes our bodies don't notice that they're working so hard when they're on their back. So now let's do this on the other side. We'll cross our legs like we're having a fancy tea party, ooh la la, and then we'll stretch on the other side. This is getting this glute. You can rock side to side, massage it out. Definitely don't squish the belly if you're pregnant, so you can sort of modify this. You can also, for very pregnant people, they can get a good stretch just going like that, or basically going like that, pulling one leg in and then pulling the knee, pushing the knee away. Don't actually push on your kneecap, of course, but you can push on the thigh under it. Sharpshooting pain is never good. That is different than a stretch. One instructor told me you can sort of tell the difference between being sore and having an injury by whether it's even on both sides. And that has also been a helpful tip for me personally. But basically, injuries start as a whisper sometimes, so you really have to listen to your body. There is no points for getting injured in yoga. It's pretty low impact, so use common sense and don't get injured in yoga. There's so many cooler ways to get injured. So use yoga for restoration, lowering blood pressure, reducing cortisol, elongating and strengthening in a sustainable way. When you feel ready, we can bring our legs to the sides again. Here we'll plant a foot on each side of the mat and windshield wiper our legs to really stretch this front thigh. While you're doing this, you may enjoy cactus arms to open up the shoulder blades. From windshield wipering the legs, you can put a foot on the knee. Just be aware that we're not twisting the torso. We're keeping the torso flat on the mat. And feeling the stretch in the thigh. When you feel a release there, we can windshield wiper the legs on the other side, putting a foot on this leg to get it down. Again, we're not twisting our torso, we're keeping our back flat on the mat. This time you can have your arms up overhead and you're feeling the stretch in the front of your thigh. Letting your back sink to the mat, maintaining connectivity. When you feel ready, you can bring wide-legged your knees into your chest to make space for the baby. You can kind of roll a little bit. Again, this is safe for the baby because it's no twist. And also, it's good to be silly and have some fun. We can shoot up to shoulder stand, which we did the other week, if that feels comfortable to you. Slowly come back down. Rock it out to reward yourself for your practice. When you're ready, come all the way around as one unit so you don't twist your torso. And slowly come up to a comfortable seated position. I usually don't do Savasana because I developed this program for incarcerated women and they are not going to just relax completely in Savasana. They have to be more aware of their surroundings. So with that invigorating conclusion, we will conclude. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much to our customers on Teachable who have paid for our RPYT. Your payment for your degree also pays for an at-risk youth or woman to earn their degree. Our outreach would not be possible without you. We thank you so much. Thank you so much also to the board of directors at the Share Institute Inc., DBA ShareLove.Fund. Without your generous donations, we couldn't do this. I teach for free. It's my passion. Thank you so much to all of our volunteer Karma Yoga instructors.
If we had to pay instructors, we also would not be able to do this. So it has truly taken a village, but we've come together and we're doing great work. It would not be possible without all of you on YouTube. So thank you so much. Have a blessed day. Namaste.